Welcome to the next edition of Jam in the Jungle, optional Guns N' Roses soundtrack.
we really need to get a stereo down here so we can start doing that.
This week we're going to be discussing the split squat, which is the next part of our warm-up sequence. So, contrary to popular belief, this is not a lunge. We're actually maintaining the same position, moving up and down, rather than from a static position to a dynamic position with this one, so there's a bit of misconception about that. And this one really will target the legs, really get you warmed up, get the oxygen flowing around the body, and as I say, has multi-purpose use for the upper body as well.
Yeah, we managed to get Greg to sign a waiver to say that his legs were actually okay to do this move after having the worst case of DOMs ever. Plus, we kind of had to have a little chat with Greg again. He really needs to work his calves.
Like my calves. Women have got better calves than me.
But yeah, so like Ross has kind of said, there is a misconception between what a split squat is and what a lunge is. We don't recommend people doing lunges because, as you just kind of saw Ross do, as you move into that position, a lot of people will actually push back from their toes, and by doing that, if you are not conditioned well enough, the amount of force and trauma that you are putting on your ankle and on your knees, it's no wonder you guys are hurting. So I think this one is actually going to be really good for you guys, because we already know that a lot of you come into the studio and actually say, guys, my knees are hurting, my back is hurting. Every time in body pump or every time in kettlebells, I hurt my knees, I hurt my back when I do lunges. And it's probably because, guys, pretty much every single one of you are making the same mistakes. Alright, so we're going to go through that whole process of showing you how to actually get your body set up in the right position for doing a split squat and actually even doing a lunge. Alright, because I know there's no getting away from doing them when you're in a class. But what we can do is actually show you better form and better technique that you can practice at home, so that when you come and do your workout, it doesn't hurt. Alright, so Greg, how's the legs?
They're there. I don't seem to have lost them, but yeah, the glutes are still a bit tight, but let's go for it. Let's go.
Alright. Okay, so with this one, we're going to start with the hands on the hips. And we're going to make sure, rather than your standard walking position, so the stride of pride.
Well, like this.
We're going to start with the feet outside the hips, so we've got a stable balance to begin with. And we're going to try and maintain the scapular retraction whilst thinking about fractions. Down and lifting up.
That was terrible.
And just make sure, so really bring the shoulder blades back so that I can get the core, pushing through the legs, and this time you notice I'm pushing through the heel rather than the toes with this one. So maintaining stable balance, and make sure you keep the chin up with this one. So it's a stable movement, controlled right the way to the ground, and bring it back up. So you will feel this one right the way through the hips, glutes, lower back, core. As we say, so you're going to use quite a few different muscle groups with this one, really get them firing, get them warmed up.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things that you can get done before you actually get into that movement as well, and that's why we're actually picking on Greg, because his legs are actually a lot better. I know we're making fun of him, but so Greg,
I'm working with them.
All right. One of the key things, and this is why you guys are probably feeling a little bit wobbly, alright? Don't worry about this stick, this has a purpose, it's not to hit on.
I've been a bad boy.
But the reason why a lot of you start to lose your balance when you get ready to go into your lunge is the first thing that you generally tend to do is when you take that first step, you put your foot in front of your foot, you put your foot across your body. Alright? Now right away, Greg's not got the best balance in the world as it is, but even just by doing that,
I'm already shaky.
yeah, you can see his ankle wobbling, his hands are all over the place, he's just not going to be able to do anything. And this is one of the reasons why your knees are in so much pain. Alright? You're asking your joints and your ligaments to gain so much balance over a wide space of ground. Alright? So what we need to do is, if Greg gets back into position, you keep your feet square. Alright? You want to keep your feet in line with your hips so that if Greg takes a natural step forward, you've got a lot more balance. Alright? But here's what the next thing he's going to do. Alright? Don't get any ideas. Get down. So he's going down on one knee. Alright, now, he actually jumped the gun a little bit there. One of the things that you should have noticed, as soon as he went down on one knee, that front foot wanted to kick out. That's fine, that's what you want, because the thing that you may have been able to see there, guys, is Greg's knee got a whole much more of a cuter angle, alright, and it didn't like it, so it popped itself out. That's what you want, alright? Now, what you're actually looking for is a direct line between the knee and the ankle. So if I put the high-tech broom handle there, you'll see there's his line. That's what you're looking for. If we pull Greg's foot back, alright, that is a lot of stress on that knee already. We're doing okay, it's not going to be too bad because the knee is still in line with the toes, but that's not what we're looking for in a split squat. So if we were able to bring that foot forward again, that's what we're looking for.
Okay. The most common fault I would say that I find with the split squat is the foot either being too far forward or more dangerously too far back.
Yeah.
Applying a lot of pressure through the toes.
Absolutely. So, when we're looking at Greg's now got his hands on his hips, and what he is going to do is he's now going to elevate, he's going to raise himself all the way up into a standing position by pushing, like Ross has already said, pushing his pressure through that front heel and through the toes in the back foot. Good. Alright, told you need to work your legs.
Yeah.
Alright, now from this position, what you are looking for is two 90-degree angles. So if Greg lowers his back knee and pauses and comes right back up, we had a 90-degree angle at the back leg. Alright, there we go, and we're coming up and we've got a 90-degree angle at the front leg. Alright, we're doing quite well. And he's still pushing through that front heel. Alright, your legs are burning again, aren't they?
You're telling me.
Okay.
I'm expecting a hold in a minute. Like.
No, I'm not going to do that to you. But here's what you do. Here's how you finish. Alright, from this standing position, you bring your back foot forward halfway. Oh. Okay, that wasn't halfway, but you bring it in further and then you bring the front foot back. You take the pressure away from your knees. Alright? So that is essentially what you're looking for, guys. You need to make sure that that front knee is in line with the ankle. You are dropping your back knee down. You are not moving forward. Alright? Because that's what a lot of people do. One of the things, and Gillian had a right good giggle at me when I said this to one of our members. Lorraine, if you're watching this, you'll remember, alright? One of the things I said for you to pretend that you were, be a carousel pony. Alright? That's the simplest thing that you want to do. If you're in that position, you want to think that there's a pole running right through the middle of your head, through your body, right down between the middle of your legs, and you slide up and down it. Alright? Thank you. Right, that's what you want to do. You don't want that forward movement. It is straight up and down. And you need to make sure that you're bringing that back foot in first and the front foot back into the middle. That's how you take care of your knees.
Likewise with the upper body, if you're getting any rotation across the way, it could be a sign of weakness through the legs, particularly the glutes. But I say predominantly it could be upper body weakness through the shoulders. And I say just by bringing those shoulders back, just by keeping the posture, we're going to work to correct that over the longer term as well. Absolutely.
Well, let's just say, guys, that you're having a bit of an issue even doing that with your hands on your hips, and you need a little bit of a helping hand. This is where we get extremely high tech. That's what the broom handle's for, alright? Hold it in the hand that you are going to step forward with the opposite foot. So I've got it in my right hand, I step forward with my left foot, I bring it forward. There's my balance. There's my, it's like when you've got an orienteering pole for those of you that do your hill walks and things. But there I am, I've got one hand on, I've got balance. I've got something to support me because it's almost, it's like a third leg. Alright? So,
we all want one of them, don't we?
I've got no response for that. But essentially, this is your supporting, this is your support. If you haven't got a broom handle, use a wall, use a step, use a stair, use anything that is at just about at chest height. Because remember, as you take that step forward, your body position, your centre of gravity is just got lower. So a sideboard, anything like that is fine, but ultimately, get yourself a broom.
It's anything that's going to make that exercise more easier for you. Because if you're still doing that exercise, you get so much benefit from it. especially through the hip flexors where a lot of people are generally tight. Trying to loosen that off, you feel this, even me just doing that exercise there, and only a few reps, I can feel the stretch right through my hip flexor. And that's where a lot of people get tight, is through this area, in the posterior chain, for the glutes, the hips, as well as not enough core strength. So just doing that exercise holding on to something is going to make a massive difference to those muscles especially, as well as strengthening the quads and right through the biggest muscle group in the body, which is your ass cheeks. Yeah, you're wanting to work those areas no matter how you do it.
Likewise with your body pump and like your classes, make sure you've got the technique sound before you start progressing the weights. There's no point doing the exercise wrong and adding extra stress to the knees and to the wrong muscle groups.
Absolutely. So if you haven't tried it yet, guys, get booked into Amanda's Pump Clinic on Saturdays. It's a free class, 15 minutes. I'll address a lot of the things that you're struggling with. But from what we've just kind of taught you, you've got your squats, you've got your press-ups, you've got your split squats. That is the start of what we do with every single one of our clients. Now, our challenge to you is you now need to do 10 squats, 10 press-ups, and 10 split squats on each leg, each and every night for the next week. If you can do that, come back and tell us how your knees are feeling the next time you get into a class. We'd love to hear how you're getting on, guys. Please reach out. Make sure you tune in for the next edition of Jam in the Jungle, where we actually show you the progression of what we do in our warm-ups.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Catch you later on.
Ciao, ciao.